Okay, mute myself.
Jackson, what's up, pimp?
How you guys doing this evening?
Uh,
Got it right on.
Thank you. So the two questions are you okay with us sharing this recording of your story publicly?
Yes, 100%. Yes.
Thank you. The other one is, can you or anyone you may mention in your story face legal prosecution or get into trouble for anything that you share in your story?
No, not at all.
That's what's up, man. I'm going to mute myself and you take it away from there.
Cool. All right, man. How's everybody doing? My name is Jackson. I'm an alcoholic. I identify as an alcoholic. Crystal meth was my drug of choice, so I'm an addict as well. But like I said, I like to introduce myself. I work a 12-step program, and that's how it is right there. And I'm just really grateful to have this opportunity to kind of chat with you guys and tell my story, share my story, because this is the deal, man. This is called gratitude in action. You know what I mean? I tell my story, you know what I mean, so I don't forget, you know, how the grace of God, you know, pulled me from the gates of hell. You know what I mean? Our sobriety date is May 8th, 2015. And again, I do recognize that today is the grace of God that kind of put me in that space, or kind of gave me another chance to kind of, you know, do this thing. I had multiple attempts. You know, my drinking career started at, of course, age 12, you know, and many times since that age, I had many, I think they refer to it as ominous warnings, lots of different opportunities to kind of, you know, draw back. And I just wasn't trying to quit. I never wanted to stop at all. You know, I knew I was the alcoholic type, you know, because I like to share this part. I remember the very first drunk, you know, the very first time I got loaded, being 12 years old. I was at a party, you know, I'm 12 years old at a high school party, and bottle of Seagram 7 and 7, passed the shot glasses around, and we're sitting at the table. And again, I remember it vividly. And I couldn't tell you my first cheeseburger. I couldn't tell you my first hot dog or slice of pizza, but I remember my very first, you know, drunk and everything. And I knew that I had arrived. I knew that was the party scene that I wanted to be a part of. Being a mixed nationality, mixed race and everything. So I definitely never fit in anywhere, but definitely, you know, between, you know, partying and everything, you know, it was, I blended right in, everything mixed right in. So I definitely felt like I found my clique. I also have that ability to, you know, mix in and mingle with all different types. You know, I was a, you know, football player, you know, high school, you know, never much the studious type, but definitely the party. So I bounced between, you know, jock and party guy, you know what I mean? But again, I still didn't quite know where I fit in. Went into the military straight after. And again, the drinking just began even deeper and deeper. It was every single night, you know, barely getting to formation. And that was like really the essence of where I got founded in drinking. And when I got out of the military in 1993, came out here to California and found crystal meth. And I'm telling you, the marijuana, the drink, everything just cleared away. And again, like literally, I'd found it. That was the thing I could function. And that's part of my story as well. You know, I consider myself very functional. I was a licensed insurance agent. You know, in 1993, I'd wear a shirt and tie, you know, to the office every day. And as soon as I get off of work, I'm either right to the Connect or right to someplace where I could kick back and we just party all night. And that party all night with, you know, a couple of people slowly progressed into that isolation and that disconnection. I didn't want to be around nobody. I just wanted to go pick up and get right back to the spot or get right to the hotel. 2006, I went to my first rehab and was in there for like 3 months of the 90-day program. Met my daughter's mother. I didn't meet her, but she came out here from Arizona and we got together 2006. And I was like, you know, I'm 90 days clean and this is, I'm going to do it. That lasted about, I don't know, maybe about 6 months. When I was back at it again, we decided to have my daughter, and that was going to be, again, I'm done. That was another one of my moments that I'm done. And probably about 3 months after there, I'm right back at it again. And I was sharing with you guys earlier today. I just remember when I decided, like consciously decided, again, this is something I'm going to kind of talk back to as well. We make these sober decisions to go back out, you know, and it's just like, I just want to kind of stick in that spot. But I remember leaving the house and I told her, I said to my girl, I said, I got to go see something. I got to go see something. And she knew exactly what I meant. What I was going to see is if I was really going to get hooked. I need to go smoke a bowl. I needed, because again, it was already premeditated in the back of my mind. I knew that I'd already been so long, but I just wasn't comfortable, you know, in that space. And my daughter was just born and everything. And I was just like, Mom, you got it. You're an awesome mom. I got to go see something. And as I left the house, boom, she came to the balcony and she just winged that freaking stroller over. And I was just like, see, this is exactly why I'm leaving. Now I'm really going. And that more or less gave me the green lights and justification. I wouldn't be back for like 3 days. Like literally, I was gone for 3 days after that. And that was 2006, 2008, 2006, 2008. Running down the line, like I said, my history, you guys, it just stems because 1994, my first hit of meth, right? So all the way up until 2006, you know, before I really started to, I'm gonna give this rehab thing a try. And it wasn't like I was gonna stop. I always knew that reservation. I remember writing reservation because I knew I'm not gonna stop, but I did know I wanted to take it down a couple of notches. You know what I mean? I knew I wanted to be a good dad. I knew I wanted to, you know, be a responsible insurance agent. You know what I mean? Because again, I've got an image that I'm trying to maintain, which is where it kind of leads into my story as well, living that double life. I'm going to go ahead and do this double life thing because God, don't you know, I'm a good man, but at the same time, I found heaven and it came in the form of crystals in a bag with a freaking glass pipe. And don't you know, it was just a beautiful thing. Like like even sitting here today, again, I never ever, you know, I love the effect. And the book says, I love the effects and I'm clear with that. But my disease is progressive. And I didn't know that. I thought it was always, I confused the I need more type of a thing with this dope is bunk. That's why, man, this is, you know what I mean? Or if I was drinking, you know, it was like, I got a high tolerance. Not knowing that I do now today is that was because that allergy thing that I learned about had kicked in. So where I'm needing more, and one of the dudes I used to cook with, he was like, bro, the more you do, the more you're going to need. The more you do, the more you need. And I was like, bro, this stuff, it just ain't hitting like it is, man. We need more. We need to, and that whole allergy thing kind of kicked in. So again, my disease, my what it was like kicks in like this. I started out in a nice social scene of, you know, partying here and there with some ladies here and there. And it very progressively moved into a space where I just got to pick up, and I went on my little range of hotel hopping up and down Beach Boulevard, which is the main strip here in Orange County. Beach Boulevard, you know, between Lincoln and Ball, you know, that was the spot. And I take the stroll up and down every single hotel. I was there just hopping from one hotel to other. And that's the life that I really enjoyed. I felt freedom. I felt even more because I'm doing that double life. Nobody ever knew that I was doing it because I'd party all night, hit the shower, shirt and tie, and I'm off to the office. And I maintained, I didn't have that, you know, broken, friggin', you know, tweaked out look, you know what I mean? Or so I thought anyway. You see what I mean? Or so I thought. But now, like, I look at some pictures, I got some pictures and yeah, you know, maybe, you know what I mean? But it was cool because I lived what it was like. I lived this double life because again, I knew I wanted to be responsible and professional, but also knew that I had this disease that had gotten this full placement within myself, and I needed to feed it each and every day. So again, that's what it was like, you know what I mean? And what happened to me May 8th, again, after probably, let's see, my lady, let's see here. So 2006, 2008, 2006, 2008, 2013, San Diego rehab. And then Long Beach was in 2015. So 4 different rehabs later, I'm like, man, May 8th, 2015, I woke up and I remember so clearly. I'm trying to get the kids up, get the kids out, and my lady's walking around the house and she's trying to get the kids ready, and she's yelling at the kids to get ready. And now I'm like, I gotta be the dad now. Let me get up and take charge here. And I went in the room and I was like, my stepson actually, he was sitting out in the living room, and I walked down. I said, did you hear your mom? I said, why are you still sitting here? And I was very aggressive. And I said, you need to get up. I said, you need to get ready. And I poked him in his head like this. I said, you need to listen. And I poked him in his head like this. And boom, he fell down, freaking knocked over everything. And in came mom, and she just started to swinging. And she's swinging and swinging. She's a sparky little girl. And I just was like, this is it. This is it. I said, you want to know what happened? And I grabbed her and I dragged her into the room, threw her on the bed, and I grabbed the pillow and I put everything on her. And I just wanted to freaking choke her out. And I literally wanted her out. And I remember it so vividly because she's so strong and she was so kicking and kicking. I was just like doing everything I could, just hold her down. And my daughter comes in and she just screamed, "Daddy, stop." And that was the most deafening "Daddy, stop" ever. That was never supposed to happen. They were never supposed to see me lose control like that. And I stood up and I said, I can't control myself. I said, I don't care if I go to the blackest of hell. And my whole state of mind behind saying that is, you guys are going to listen and do what I say, and you're not going to say nothing about it. And I was just like, I thought I took control of that situation, you guys. And the truth of it is, in my mind, I did. Well, they would leave off to school, off to work, and about an hour or so later, I don't really know the exact time frame because, again, I was just like in a, and I went right back to it thinking nothing of it. And the phone rang, and I answered my phone, and Orange County Sheriff's Department, can you step outside? There's a couple of officers that want to talk to you. Well, I stepped outside, not even without hesitating, because again, she's just trying to catch me with dope. And I got it stashed. They'll never find it anyways. No way, no how. So I walked out with confidence. And when I walked out, there was a line of freaking cop cars, like about 6 cars. And there was just like cops all over. She called the Sheriff's Department, reported me as domestic violence, child abuse, because I poked my little boy in the head and I'd done all this stuff in front of him. And again, I thought I'd taken control of that situation. I never even seen that coming. Oh, can we check the house? Yeah, go ahead, check the house. Came back out, go ahead and stand up, put your hands behind your back. You're being placed under arrest for domestic battery. And that's the term he used, you guys. He didn't say domestic violence. He said domestic battery. And I was like, I just broke down and cried. I was just like, I just felt total betrayal. I felt total like, oh my God, I didn't even do nothing. And then I just, like I said, I was completely oblivious to the trauma. Again, I knew what I was doing, but I didn't know that it was to the degree where it was going to set this whole trend off altogether. Again, so I'm just going off to jail, still crying and everything. But my mind was in a place where, okay, I'll just go to jail, do maybe literally, I'll just do maybe 3 months and I'll be back and everything will be back to normal. Again, I'm not, no drugs. Like literally, I remember thinking, they didn't catch me with drugs, so I'm cool right there. Let me just go handle this charge and I'm back at it. Like literally, I remember going to jail thinking that. Well, I get to jail and they did a whole team came in from the VA. They sent in a psychologist, the public defender, another psychiatrist or whatever from the VA. And I walk out and they said, here's your team. And I'm like, what do you mean my team? This is your team from the VA. We want to get you some help. And I'm like, help for what? They're like, we want you to go into a program. We have a new program that we're offering. It's through drug court. It's called vet court. And I was like, well, hold on a second. I said, I'm not here for a drug charge. I said, I'm not a drug addict. Like literally, you guys, this is the denial that I was still in. Because again, what are you talking about? And then in comes the public defender, which was, again, a godsend. Kim, I give you all grace. I just so much. Kim was my public defender, which I was coaching her son on the football team, on the flag football team. I was a coach. Because remember, I'm living this double life. I'm a great coach. I'm a father. I go to the school for the kids. And here she comes walking in. And I just broke down and cried all over again, you guys. And it was just like, oh my God, how is this happening to me right now? She came over and she's like, look, Jackson, we just want to get you the help that you need. And I was just in tears. I'm just like, she's like, look, I understand. She goes, we just want to get you help. And I was just like, and it was just like really at my most hopeless, most defeated. I never felt so defeated in my life. Like I felt like my whole world had just imploded. And I remember I didn't catch a drug charge. Now, let me just rewind back, because I had several other drug charges and paraphernalia charges, which I did programs. Prop 36, 2 Prop 36s, a PC 1000 first, Prop 36, 1, 2, 3, 4 residentials. Okay, so again, I'm definitely fluent with the system, but this particular time, I was just broke down. I was just like, I can't believe this. This is the end. And they said, hey, we got a program for you. We're going to bring you back. Da, da, da. And when they brought me back to jail, I don't get to tell this part of the story too much, but I love the fact that when they brought me back, I had to stand up. I was in the cage, and the judge says, how do you, we want to offer you this program. What do you think about that? And I stood up there, even after that, still, I said, all due respect, Your Honor. I said, I'm here for a battery case. I said, I'm not a drug addict. I said, I respectfully decline your program. And the judge literally went like this. He goes, Mr. Jackson, have a seat. Who's his public defender? And Kim raised her hand and walked over. She goes, go and talk to him. And I was just like, no. I'm like, no. She goes, look, we just want you to try. She goes, why don't you just try it for 14 days? If you don't like it, we'll bring you back and we'll set your trial date. Okay, whatever. So I literally came into recovery on May 8, 2015, which I consider my sobriety, with no idea, no intention whatsoever, again, to ever quit, to ever stop. I was just going to pay my court, or not pay, but do my time, go right back to it again. That's what was in my mind. But again, like I said, God had a whole different plan for me. And that's when I saw Kim and the VA and these public defenders and this judge, all these guys converged. And I just felt like, okay, cool, I'm going to try it. And I tried it. So what it was like, what happened, what it's like today. So again, what happened was I went to a program, vet court. It was a 3-year program that I was too resistant about. They put me on program hold, but they said, look, we're going to get you through this program. So I sat in that program for 3 years complete. I have 6 years altogether in sobriety, grace of God. But again, 3 years of that was in a court program, which I could have rejected multiple times. And I did, because again, I got sanctioned at least 10 times through that 3-year period. Sanctioned for what? For hanging up on my probation officer, hanging up on my case manager, because they would tell me stuff and I'm not having it. And boom, and they would write me up for being late to probation or for being late to a group, and all these little petty things they were giving me sanctions for. So I'm like, this is bullshit, man. What are you guys doing? And again, I had to really dig in through this. And I really had decided, when I started working with my sponsor, I really decided, you know what? This ain't for me. I know this isn't for me, but they wouldn't let it go. And for some reason, I could tell that they really wanted to help me, because they wouldn't kick me loose. They wouldn't sense me. They just kept on putting me. And every time I did the loop, we have this thing called the loop, Orange County, where you just kind of go around, fingerprint, book, boom, and they never house you. They just fingerprint you, and it takes like all night. And it's just like a dreadful loop that they call it. But I would do a loop. I would do like so many loops, and I was just like, this is ridiculous. This is what my life has come to. Is this really what's happening right now? Just either freaking let me go or freaking, but they wouldn't send me. They wouldn't send me back. They wouldn't cut me loose. And that's what I was really hoping for. But they were like, no, we want to help you. So I finally gave into it, man. And I started working my steps. And my sponsor dude had so much energy. And I met him at the rehab center. And I want to back up too. When I was in custody, the H&I panel came in and they, boom, handed me a big book. And they put this big book in my hands. And I kind of flipped it around. I'm just like, and I looked at the deputy, man. I was like, hey, can I keep it? And he was like, yeah, you can keep it. They had booked me into custody, and I was in the psych ward. My psych ward little check-in thing went like this. Are you homicidal or suicidal? And again, all of a sudden, guys, I became this big crier. This time around, I cried a lot, bro. And it was just like, ugh, because I was like, God, my life was so, but when they asked me, are you homicidal or suicidal? I like literally, I couldn't respond, and I wouldn't respond. And that's when they booked me into the psych ward for evaluation because they didn't know what was happening. So in the psych ward, they gave me this big book. The H&I panel came in. I flipped through the pages. So I'm like, I'm not reading this whole book. I said, I just want to see what's happening in here. So I flipped through it, and my finger caught page 553. And 553 said, you know, it's no great trick to stop drinking. The trick is to stay stopped. And to do that, I had come to AA to learn how to handle sobriety, which is what I couldn't handle in the first place. I can't handle sobriety because why? I need to get loaded there, so I thought. And every time I took a break, every time I kept that reservation, I just really thought that I'm just going to gauge it down this time. And my whole story, my whole 20 plus year in sobriety, I'd say like the last 10 years of that 20-year run was rooted in I'm going to control it better. I'm going to control it better. And I failed every time because it would only last 2 or 3 months and I would get right back into it again. But finally, when I saw that in the big book, went to my rehab. My rehab was just like awesome. And that's where I met my sponsor at. And my sponsor, he was a solid big book dude. I'd talk to him about something and he'd be like, okay, go to page 85. And then he'd say, okay, go to page 30. So anything I ask him, he wouldn't tell me what to do. He would say, okay, let's go to this page. And bro, that freaking hit the spot because ain't nobody freaking telling me what to do. You know what I mean? But if I read it for some reason, it kind of gives validity to it. You know what I'm saying? And that's what this big book did to me. It validated the fact all of those things that were written, no pictures in this book, no pictures. But God bless America if this book didn't freaking specifically pin down me, my ideas, my attitude, and my whole emotional situation. And it gave me solutions to it. And that's why I got so much energy for recovery. Like I said, I'm 6 years later, bro, and it was never supposed to stick this long. It was never supposed to stick this long. But I wanted to be like my sponsor in the terms of, I'm going to carry this book. I'm going to carry these 12 steps to other dudes. And I'm going to share. I ain't going to just friggin' go to meetings. I'm not friggin' going to meetings the rest of my life. But I am suiting up and showing up. Because why? Because I want to meet newcomers. I want to meet newcomers every chance I get. Because I know how weird this way of life is. I know how weird coming into a program saying, 12 steps, do your 12 steps, do your 12 steps. Okay, it's more than that. I hear people say, oh, I've done my 12 steps, 4 or 5 times. Okay, watch this. My deal is this. The way I'm living my life today, I like to go and take other guys through this big book. That's the stay factor for me today. You know what I mean? In order for me to stay stopped, I got to freaking, no matter what, take another guy through the 12 steps as often as possible. Anytime I get a chance, if a dude says, hey, they hear my share, and they say, hey, can you help me? Can you be my sponsor? Absolutely. One day a week, 1 hour is all I want to do. And no, you're not reading chapter after chapter, but we're going to check it page by page and we're going to see what happens. And you're going to have your own experience with this stuff. And they do. And again, I'm so stoked again that I have 3 guys that I sponsor. 2 guys are actually still digging in right now, but 3 of the guys that I sponsor have sponsees, which is a beautiful thing. You know what I mean? And again, that's proof once again that this program is legit and it checks out. NA, AA, CA, all of the A's, I'm down with it. I'm down with a 12-step program today because I don't know how to handle sobriety. I got ideas, attitudes, emotions, fears, resentments that pop up here and there, and I never know. And I ask my creator, I'm now willing to have all of me, good and bad. You know what I mean? Good and bad. I thought God only wanted the good. And I didn't know that he would take the bad also. So I'm really grateful for a program. I'm grateful for the other side of hell, that brought me into this platform. So I could bring this energy like this, because again, what better platform? God took me, from the depths of hell. I was at the door, at the gates, you know what I'm saying? And for whatever reason, he saw fit to pull me from the gates of sanity, from the gates of hell, from the gates of insanity to this new way to the other side of hell. I know my purpose in life is to carry this message of hope and they'll take another guy through the 12 step so that they can have their own personal experience. This is not a selfish program. It's a very personal program. And I need this unity and I need this connection with other people. So again, I'm so grateful for you guys. Will, Mr. Jackson, man, I'm Jackson from Stay Stop, man. This is what it is, my guys. And I really appreciate it all. If you're new or fairly new in this program, find a sponsor that's got that energy that's going to show you the pages, man. And the pages changed my life. The pages changed my life. And I promise you that I'm going to continue to carry this message. I tell the old timers this too. I say, old timer guys, I said, don't worry. This program is safe with me. I'm going to make sure I honor this program and carry it the proper way. So again, guys, I appreciate you guys. Thanks for letting me share my story. And like I said, man, the program that I saw, page 553, it caught my eye. It's no great trick to stop. The trick is to stay stop. That hit the spot. That hit my soft spot. And I felt like God said, you know, this is the message I want you to carry, Jackson. This is the message I want you to carry, because so many of us want to stop, but we just don't know how to stay stop. So I created a clothing and apparel brand. I call it the official recovery apparel brand, because each and every time I didn't want to be just a t-shirt company. I wanted to represent the entire recovery community as a whole, as we are unified in our efforts to sustain recovery. I said, I'm going to make a brand that just like Vans got their skateboard community and Stussy and all those guys got the surf, Dickies and Carhartt repping the working class. Stay Stop. We wear recovery, we live recovery. And again, it's my platform. Instagram is my primary platform. Stay.stop at stay.stop. My shopping, you can check out all the gear. We custom make everything at www.staystop.shop. And most importantly, you guys, this collaboration, welcome. I wanted to make this brand. So again, all treatment centers, again, we want to collaborate with you. Our brand goes here, whatever treatment center that you want here, whatever you want, it's recovery based. We want to unify and bring it all together and give it this extra little official tag, if you will, to kind of bring it all together, to empower, encouragement, unity, and just keeping it alive and all together. Again, I'm the founder of Stay Stop. And again, this is designed specifically for all of us who have made this commitment to sustain recovery, man. So again, Stay Stop, bro. Thanks for letting me, talk about it.